Merry Christmas. ResMed's MyAir app should be taken off the air. ResMed's vanity app, MyAir, is the worst crap ever. They could be doing actual harm to gullible CPAP users who believe that shit. This picture was posted in a Facebook group. The MyAir app says, excellent results. However, the AHI is 16. Just awful. What do you think about that, eh? Harsh but fair? Harsh but fair. Now to the beginners watching. The AHI or Apnea Hypopnea Index is the way we classify the severity of sleep apnea. Mild, moderate, severe. And with an AHI of 16, this person is in the moderate category. However, the ResMed app is saying excellent results. Now, the ResMed MyAir app is the equivalent of the participation award they give out to preschool kids who finish in last place. And it's designed that way. If you've ever visited a CPAP forum or a social media group, they are just chock-a-block full with these fantastic ResMed scores. From a marketing point of view, it is absolutely genius. However, there is a little problem with everyone's a winner using ResMed attitude, and that is the feedback can be misleading and can sometimes do more harm than good. Right now, on face value, Sharon thinks her results are excellent. The feedback ResMed gave does not accurately reflect her treatment quality. These results are not good. They're far from good, and she really needs her therapy adjusted for better apnea control. And if you're watching right now and you think you're in the clear because you scored 5 out of 5 for your AHI, think again. We're about to take a look at some research which highlights just how inaccurate these CPAP generated AHI numbers really are. So if you don't want to know the truth, you'd rather wake up in the morning, open up your MyAir app, see your perfect score, pat yourself on the back because you put your mask on, look away now, because these results will knock that mask off your face and you'll lose a point. You'll only get 99. Now I'll quickly explain the research method in simple terms, and then we'll move on to the very disturbing results. So you take 25 hours of simulated breathing data. It's breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And in that data, you have a whole bunch of hypopneas and apneas and so on. And it's been analyzed by top respiratory physicians. Yeah, they've marked all those apneas and hypopneas. And then you give the same data to the CPAP machines and you compare the results. You can think of it like a CPAP machine about to undertake its final year apnea exam. We know the answers. We wrote the exam. We know how many apneas there are, how many hypopneas. We know the AHI. Let's see which CPAP machines scored an A+ on their final year exam. All right, let's dive in and check out these results. Now, this chart right here is important to understand because it's the exam answer. This red dotted line right here. So up the y-axis, we have the device-generated AHI. This is the AHI coming from the CPAP machine. And along the x-axis here, this is the physician AHI. And the idea is that if the exam answer was an AHI of 50 in the breathing data that we provided to the CPAP machine, remember, we already know what the AHI is. We give it to the CPAP machine and see if it correlates with the right answer from the physicians. If the physician had an AHI of 50 in that breathing data, then it should correlate perfectly with 50 over here from the CPAP machine. 50 from the CPAP machine, 50 from the respiratory specialist. Now, the first student we'll analyze today is the ResMed AirSense 10, one of the best-selling CPAP machines of all time. But if you have an AirSense 11 or an S9, well, you're pretty much the same student. Let's check out your exam results. Here they are. Here's your answer, the red line. Here is the correct answer, the black dotted line here. And straight away, what I can see is this. If your AirSense 10 generates an AHI score of 0, it's more likely around 10. And let's check out how that correlates with Sharon's excellent AHI of 16. All right, I've drawn it in here. Her AirSense 10 gave her an AHI of 16. Here it is here. However, it's more likely somewhere up here in the high 20s, close to severe. So you can see there's a big difference there. And the higher the AHI, you can see the gap between the red line and the black dotted line is widening, the more significant the difference. You following? I know it's all a little bit confusing, guys, but basically what I'm trying to say here is that your ResMed AirSense 10 will give you an AHI. It's likely a lot higher if a physician, a respiratory physician, was to analyze the same breathing. All right, that's what I'm trying to get at here. Next cab off the rank is the infamous Philips DreamStation. Close your eyes. Here we go. Wow. Now, isn't that a surprise? It's done a better job at providing an accurate AHI number compared with the AirSense 10. Hey, it might not be good at keeping the AHI down, but at least it's honest. And you can see it's a close mirror to the black dotted line. That is a surprise. Next one, the S-BOX. And this is a French company, Sefam. Don't have a huge amount of experience with them. That's the green line here. So a little bit better than ResMed, a little bit worse than Philips. And then last, we have the Lowenstein Prisma20A. And the Prisma20A seems to do pretty well in a lot of these research studies. And once again, it's done a pretty damn good job at providing an accurate AHI number to the users. Here it is here, the blue line. All right, pretty close mirror to the black dotted line, similar to the DreamStation Auto. In fact, they've both got an R-square of 0.89, 0.89. Right, sort of like the correlation between the device AHI and the physician AHI, saying it's a great fit. The closer you get to one's like a perfect fit. So if you had the blue line right here on the dotted black line, it's a perfect fit. You get an R-square of 1. If the R-square is 0, well, the blue line would be... How are you finding it so far? It's a little confusing, I know, but stick around because it will make more sense as we go. All right, the next charts look even more confusing. Remember in the beginning, I said there were 25 hours of simulated breathing data that was used to bench test these CPAP machines and the AHI number they generated. Yeah. Well, what the researchers did was each hour was comprised of varying degrees of sleep apnea. The first hour, you might have 25 hypopneas and 50 apneas. The next one, 50 hypopneas, 20 apneas, and so on. And they took that 25 hours and then they plotted it here. And when you average out all the variation between the CPAP machine and these top-rated physicians, there's a couple of them, what you end up with is this bias. And it equals negative 14.2. This is for the AirSense 10. And pretty much what that tells us, if you score a 10 on your AHI, it might be more likely 24.2. You score a 0, like I said before, you score a 0, it's more likely 10, between 10 and 15, based on these averages. And negative 14.2 is the average. That's the underestimation. The difference could be as large as negative 32.2. You score 10, it's like 42.2. Oh dear. And there is potential for it to be a slight positive bias, but only once, this one little dot here. But most of the time, so this is 0 here, most of the time, all these red dots here are below 0, which is that negative bias. Let's check out the Philips Nightmare. Bias, negative 2.6 average, which says if your DreamStation, if you're still using your DreamStation, gives you an AHI of 5, it's likely a little bit higher, maybe 7 or 8. Then we've got the Sefam S-BOX Bias, negative 7.6. Once again, S-BOX gives you a 5, maybe around the 10 mark on average. Lowenstein Bias, negative 3.9. So the DreamStation and the Lowenstein seem to be a little bit more accurate with that AHI number generated from the CPAP machine. There you go. Next up, we have figure 3. What is figure 3? Yes, I know. Now remember, the AHI is made up of both apneas and hypopneas. Well, the researchers dug a little bit deeper and they found that the hypopneas were the big problem. Now, for those of you that don't know, you've got apneas, which are large reductions in breathing, hypopneas, medium reductions in breathing, air getting into your lungs, and you've also got RERAs. We won't go into them right now. Respiratory effort-related arousals, small reductions in breathing. But all these BS classifications are just manifestations of the exact same thing, which is crap breathing. It's just all the medicos like to make up these fancy words to make you feel like you're not smart. Just air pressure, guys. You'll be right. Now, what this chart shows is that when you take out the hypopneas and we just look at the apneas, the large reductions in breathing, you can see here the lines are much closer. Everyone gets an A+. And if anything, there's a slight positive bias. You can see how all the lines are slightly above this black dotted line here. However, let's check out the hypopneas. F. You all failed. And look at ResMed down here, hey? It's got an R-square value of 0.01. With ResMed, you could have a hypopnea index of 0 generated by your AirSense 10, AirSense 11. However, the true number could be 35 hypopneas per hour. That's the thing, guys. You just don't know. But what this research does highlight is it's likely a negative bias, especially with the hypopneas. Apneas, pretty good. Hypopneas, not so much. So it's crystal clear that the hypopneas are the big issue. So why are the CPAP machines all failing the hypopnea exam? All comes down to the threshold. These CPAP machines have a very high threshold set for the hypopnea classification, 50%. Your breathing needs to reduce by 50% the flow of air going into your lungs before your CPAP machine goes, yeah, we'll give you a hypopnea for that one. And that's a big problem in my opinion, because many of you, your breathing might only reduce by 40%, still going to cause a lot of issues. Let's take a look at this in more detail over at SleepHQ. And if you don't know what SleepHQ is, I'll put some information in the description down below, but it unlocks the full data potential of your CPAP machine, as you'll see right now. Now, this is Chris Peters' AirSense 11 data. G'day, Chris. Let's scroll down. And you can see here, apnea-hypopnea index 10.06. Now, what's great about SleepHQ is we also have this AHI donut, which tells us how many apneas, how many hypopneas, how many central apneas. And what we can see right here is out of that 10.6, 9.88 were the hypopnea classification. And as we just learned, that's not accurate. Let's check out the detailed charts. So this green line here is the automatic pressure from the CPAP machine changing over time. Okay, it's moving up. That's what automatic CPAP machines do. We provide all this information to you. But the next chart down, the breathing chart, is the best chart on SleepHQ. It is every single breath you take over the course of a night. And it shows you where the hypopneas were marked from the CPAP machine. This is the exam right here. Let's check it out. You can see here, and all I'm doing is just clicking and dragging over an area of interest. See the H with the purple line? That's the machine taking the exam right now. You can see it's see the H with the purple. See the H with the purple line? Here, 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 here. That's the machine taking the exam right now. But what you can see is there should be another H here. Yeah, it's the same pattern. You get a reduction in breathing. See the breathing getting narrow? And then you get these great big breaths. See these great big breaths? What's happening here is this. Breathing's getting very narrow. Oxygen levels are dropping. And then you take these great big breaths to catch up. Bring more oxygen into your body. And a physician can see the pattern. You can see the pattern. The CPAP is bound by like strict rules. So for some reason here, I don't know if the reduction in the breathing amplitude maybe got to 49% and not 50%. It's like, nah, didn't reach the classification, not marking it. It's a clear pattern. You can see that. Hypopnea flag, hypopnea flag. There should be one here. There should be one here. There should be one here. There's not. If we scroll forward, okay, it's got the next few, but there's more. It's missed more. Look, here, 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 here. So we have all these missed hypopnea flags right here. This is that negative bias that the researchers talked about. But check this out, and it's not the focus of this video, but I'll show you it anyway. Click the link above if you want to watch a video on the automatic pressure delivery from the CPAP machines, because that'll really blow the mask off your face. Check this out. So we have all this crap breathing. It's clear as can be right here. ResMed knows it. It's put in some of the hypopnea flags. Look at the pressure. Hey, it's up here at 13 and it is dropping. Why is that bad? When you have reduced airflow into your lungs, what you need to do is increase the pressure. Creates more pressure inside the mask. So you have high pressure in the mask, low pressure in your mask, in your lungs, and then the pressure differential just means the air, just physics, the air just forced down into your lungs. That's how it works. You already know how to breathe. Your lungs are working fine. It's just you have that restriction there. So you need that pressure differential, high pressure in the mask, low pressure in your lungs, and air just flows from high to low. The reason I spend so many days researching this boring shit is for Sharon and the thousands of Sharons out there who are going through the torture of wearing these stupid masks, yet they're still not feeling the benefit of effective treatment and quality sleep. And if all they ever received is the participation award from the MyAir app, then they'll never feel what it's like to win a gold medal. I'm under no illusions that this is a lot of information to take in. It's confusing for me too, but there is one number that doesn't lie. One number that just cuts through all the BS, all the smoke and mirrors, all the underreporting of the apnea-hypopnea index. Your blood oxygen levels. It's like what I said in the beginning. Diabetics measure your blood glucose. If you've got sleep apnea, measure your blood oxygen. It's super easy to do. And if your blood oxygen levels are nice and stable, nice and high, you can almost guarantee that your CPAP machine is doing its job. If they're not, you've likely found the reason why you're still feeling like shit. Thanks for watching, guys. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you again in 2024. Cheers. G'day mates, this video is sponsored by SleepHQ. Upload, review and share your detailed CPAP reports with anyone from anywhere. Visit sleephq.com and join our free community today.